Good morning, and congrats to everybody who survived. I wonder which microphone is working. Who survived the after party yesterday. Sorry for technical issues, and sorry for not having our presentation on the big screen. So as Big P already said, I'm Kabir Veitas. I'm a co-founder and CEO and the lead conceptual architect of deep tech startup Nunet, which is building a global economy of decentralized computing. And on our way, we are decentralizing Cardano on the hardware level. So in one sentence, what does it mean, decentralized Cardano on hardware level? It means that we are building technologies which allow to run the main Cardano network components, including relay nodes, block producing nodes, and stake pools on individual computers and private clusters rather than public cloud infrastructure of a big tech, which is mostly the case now. We started Nunet together with Dr. Ben Goertzel, who is CEO of SNET and who needs no introduction, and Dr. Weaver D.R. Weinbaum, who is a philosopher of mind and an author and creator of a concept open-ended intelligence, which we believe can be one of the paths to the artificial general intelligence. So before that, I was doing PhD studies, and I did doctoral studies named Synthetic Development of Decentralized Computing Systems. So during that, worked at SingularityNet as AI researcher, and also at the Global Brain Institute as an AI researcher, where we actually all three met back in 2014. That was in Brussels. And from all these ideas and all the years of research and thinking about that, we came the idea to start Nunet. Basically, yeah, in order to implement certain conceptual ideas and to see how that works in the real world. Yeah, so this is how the Nunet started. In general, Nunet is building a global economy of decentralized computing, which allows anyone to share and monetize the individual compute resources at scale, and it provides globally distributed and optimized computing power for decentralized networks and beyond that, basically for every computing. Nunet is spin-off of SingularityNet global AI marketplace, together with Singularity DAO, which was presented yesterday. It was internally incubated in SingularityNet since 2018, with the goal of building decentralized infrastructure platform for serverless deployment of decentralized compute payloads. So together with that idea to implement all our more philosophical and AI research in practice, we were officially launched as a separate company in November 2021 by issuing a Nunet utility token, cross-chain utility token, ticker NTX, and which is currently has most of its supply, since it's cross-chain, it has most of its supply on Cardano and Ethereum with a one-to-one bridge between the two. Currently, we are more than 20 team members strong. And most of the team members are developers building this open source platform for connecting individually owned compute devices across the world into a decentralized cloud available for basically everybody, which is freely accessible for the whole ecosystem of data providers, storage frameworks, AI developers, application developers in the both Web3 space and the conventional computing space. And we are developing the platform based on carefully selected use cases, which are geared towards using the platform in real-world cases from the very early stage of platform development. So we do not wait until all the features are developed. We basically try to find use cases which can already use our platform for what they need. So now, what problems does NuNet solve? Actually, we not only solve problems in the conventional, let's call it cloud infrastructure space, but we also create new opportunities, and by that provide certain aspects that are, I think, interesting for the community. So one of the things that, in general, NuNet solves is that computing is very centralized, as a computing space is centralized and monopolized by big tech. And that is not only related to the fact that it's expensive for everybody, but also to the fact that computing takes more and more part, let's say, in our lives. So, and AI training, AI basically takes more, let's say, influences our life more and more. And if all the AI is trained by a small number of big tech companies, it becomes non-decentralized. So one of the problems that we solve is that we allow AI to be democratized, in a sense, developed and, let's say, models trained not only by big tech companies. By the way, it costs a lot of money to train a decent machine learning model. But it allows to AI to express the values of community rather than values of certain small part of the society. By that, so what NuNet solves the problem also by doing that, utilization of latent compute resources. A lot of compute resources are locked in private computers which we have at home. Small businesses, private cluster systems, and so on, which do not fit into the big cloud infrastructure. We do that by allowing each device to connect to each other, so solving connectivity of devices of different types in different localities, running source from different vendors, running different software, etc., and so on. And we connect that in a single cloud and allow everybody to access it. That gives us the robustness and security by design, simply by the virtue that it's a decentralized and pretty much nobody can shut it down on the hardware level unless something really bad happens with the internet or electricity in the world. Additionally, so we create new opportunities in the sense that we create machine-to-machine economy via crypto settlements layer between the hardware and software components. And those components become first-class citizens in the system, meaning that they can negotiate and pay to each other for any economic activities that they basically want to express in the network. And that becomes a self-optimizing compute engine, which automatically optimizes hardware configuration and the topology of the compute processes in the whole world based on immediate requirements for compute in pretty much real time. And finally, what does that provide in a more, let's say, global manner? It's a global hardware decentralization layer for the web free space and also platforms and applications. A basis for a novel and previously impossible Industry 4.0 and IoT applications. Again, by providing connectivity between devices owned by different people and produced by different vendors. From a more conceptual, let's say, view, we expected, let's say, or we aim to build a platform for algorithmic governance of decentralized autonomous organizations. So basically what Ben Gersel was talking yesterday, we are part of this initiative to create internet intelligence, or the intelligent network of humans and machines, which is pretty much what global brain means, theoretically. Yes. So how do we do this from the perspective of architecture? Basically, NuNet is a layer of serverless deployment and crypto micropayments between the world of software, which can be any compute payload, AI, machine learning, or just generic computing, including, well, human intelligence in a sense of what kind of human intelligence is inbuilt in the programs or AI engines that we're running, and the individual computers of physical infrastructure. So this layer is between the software and physical infrastructure, and that physical infrastructure in principle can be any device that can compute, whether it's mobile phone, PC, laptop, game console, a robot, autonomous car. So we want to provide this connectivity layer and crypto payments layer, basically micropayments layer, as well as logic for searching and matching different compute engines and compute resources so that it's able to basically construct its own computational processes globally within this network. And obviously, we are a layer within the Singularity Net ecosystem in the sense that we provide ability to do this. We emphasize the hardware part of this emerging global brain, where other parts of a Singularity Net ecosystem provide other aspects of the pretty much in the road to the intelligent network of humans and machines. So from the business model perspective, NUNET is an ecosystem of independent constituents, which are, as I probably mentioned, well, we don't see it, which include compute providers, which provide hardware devices to the network. Data providers can provide, and they do provide data sources and data itself to the network so that algorithms can buy data via machine-machine interface pretty much buy data points via micropayments. So AI developers, or basically software developers, which develop algorithms, whether it's AI or machine learning or whatever, which put those algorithms into the network so that they can be also monetize them so that each algorithm can find each other and run themselves on the machines that are provided by compute providers via NUNET platform. Application developers, they will be building applications that can use NUNET as a backend for running those backends of the infrastructure for running the backends of the applications through NUNET, and NUNET will optimize the compute power for those applications to run. Hopefully those applications will be AI engines or just any compute which is sourced via, let's say, marketplaces like SingularityNet. So from the technical perspective, and NUNET basically is at the core, we are building protocols and APIs in order for all these constituents to be able to connect together in one network, and most importantly, to find each other and to negotiate the prices and to basically settle transactions between each other. The way we are doing it from the, let's say, development perspective, or the development management perspective, is that NUNET is completely open source. So we are building everything on top as an open API of APIs, what we call API of APIs. So we have a collection of open APIs, and all the functionality of NUNET platform and all the parts of NUNET platform, all these constituents, is exposed as a collection of open and evolving APIs. And all APIs are publicly available, and as well as they're secured if somebody will want. Basically, we provide ability to run proprietary compute workflows on that open source network by securing and encrypting APIs and communications between the devices, if that is needed for any use case. And this is why I'm saying that we are both operating, or we aim to operate in Web3 space as well as a conventional cloud computing space. So the APIs are maintained and published by the core development team, but they are evolved based on the needs and requirements of the community. And one of the goals is for us to gather those needs and requirements, to know them in order so that we can drive our development towards what's needed now and not in 5 years. So which means that we employ what we call use case-based platform development model in order to develop the platform. So we are developing and constantly searching for use case integration partnerships for developing all those use cases, real world use cases, in order to prioritize and drive the design of the platform. So, and that basically we started immediately from this sort of model. Our first, for example, our first minimal viable product, which was released, I think, already a couple of years ago, was a demo combining two Singularity Net AI services for the backend of a mobile application, where each service was solving part of the computational problem and feeding data to each other. A private alpha version, which we released just before the token launch last year, was a browser extension with a backend which consisted of a small ensemble of, again, Singularity Net AI services running on different computers across, well, in a small network, but across the world, powered by the NUNet, and optimizing those, basically optimizing computing based on each call from browser extension and returning the result there. So it's kind of small use case that we basically we invented ourselves in order to build the first versions of the platform. And what I would like to present today is two projects that we are now doing now. So decentralized stake pool operating computing use cases, which is currently in progress, is a Catalyst Fund 7 supported project aimed at running Cardano nodes and stake pools over decentralized hardware devices provided by the community. And that is precisely why we are saying that on the way we are decentralizing Cardano on hardware level. So today we will be running technical demos and discussions of these projects where we want to basically present what we have done and what is the status, and invite all the interested parties to participate in discussion, because, as I said, we want to gather intelligence what is needed for the community. Okay, and so this one we'll run it, I think, at 2 p.m. today at our booth. Another one is decentralized, another project that we are doing is decentralized graphical processing unit for machine learning cloud, again, currently in progress, and is a Catalyst Fund 8 supported project aimed at running artificial intelligence and machine learning models on individual gaming GPUs sourced via NUNet platform by community, or mining clusters. Yes, so we will present this project in our booth at 4 p.m. today. Basically, this use case is aiming at the fact that a lot of graphical processing units are getting freed from the mining work in this process of the whole blockchain space, the movement of blockchain space from the proof of work to proof of stake. And again, it also fits into our strategy of allowing AI, let's say democratizing AI, in terms of that democratizing the hardware on which AI models are built and trained. Eventually, we want to become evolving and decentralized computing universe where software agents can find compute resources to execute themselves and pay the execution costs themselves. Hardware resources and agents can advertise their capabilities so that other components can find them on the network and send requests to each other, negotiate the prices, preferences, and basically on machine-to-machine basis. Data sources can declare the data content and price so that software agents can buy data points individually. Independent developers could publish the algorithms via marketplaces like SingularityNet or directly, declaring the capabilities needs for compute resources and also price that they are able to pay based on the business model that people will build. Application developers construct, as I said, backends callable via NUNet for applications. And basically, what NUNet platform is doing is building these protocols and APIs in order for automatically construct the network from all these constituents, machines, data sources, considering all the capabilities and price of the the whole compute workflows, topological locations that are needed for those compute workflows to be done properly, to produce an optimal result. And we need your participation. And we need your participation in terms of we are doing partnerships both based on the platform features partnerships, which means with other Web3 projects, because we don't want to do everything ourselves. We want to connect to other platforms that may provide certain aspects of the ecosystem that we're building, and also in terms of use cases. And we are rewarding contribution to platform development via NuNet Airdrops program, which we announced, I think, months ago. So at the end of September, we announced the Cardano Stake Pool Airdrop campaign, which is the first campaign in the larger Airdrops program, where through the Airdrops program, we incentivize community participation in the development of NuNet via our NTX token. So the Cardano Stake Pool Airdrop program, we incentivize a small number of stake pool operators which contacted us already somewhere in spring and already expressed interest to participate in the project as testers. And then, especially for this event, for Rebrew participants, we will be offering discounts for future usage of NuNet platform in the form of evolvable NFTs minted on Cardano. So come to our booth and check our presentations and technical demos, and drop your Cardano address in order for us to drop your evolvable NFT for the future discount for the usage on NuNet. So thank you for your time and attention.